On June 18, 2023, a small submersible called the Titanic, carrying 5 people to visit the wreck of the Titanic, went missing in the Atlantic Ocean, sparking global concern. The United States and Canada quickly launched a massive deep-sea countdown search and rescue operation, but finally came to a tragic end. The incident has not only caused people to mourn the victims, but also triggered a deep reflection on the safety and commercial operations of deep-sea exploration. The Titanic, a famous ship in human history, struck an iceberg and sank on its maiden voyage in 1912, killing 1,514 people. In 1985, its remains were found at a depth of 3,784 off Newfoundland, Canada. Since then, various countries have carried out scientific investigations and cultural relics recovery. Titan submersible belongs to the United States Ocean Exploration Company. OceanGate, can dive for 1,000 meters, is the world's deepest diving civilian submersible. Since 2015, OceanGate has used it to conduct scientific expeditions to the wreck of the Titanic. The 10.4-ton submersible, made of carbon composite fibers and reinforced with titanium end caps, has a cramped interior that can accommodate just 5 people and sells for up to $250,000 a ticket. Due to the Titanic wreckage facing corrosion and decomposition by metal-eating bacteria, is expected to completely disappear around 2030, which has increased the demand for people to visit it. OceanGate, with the uniqueness of submersible, attracted many wealthy people to participate. At noon on June 18th, the Titan was released into sea by the Canadian research ship Polar Prince and lost contact with the mother ship about 1 hour and 45 minutes later, at which time was only a few hundred meters away from the Titanic. Titan lack of self-rescue ability. The door cannot be opened from the inside, and emergency oxygen supply is only enough for 5 people for 96 hours. The situation is very critical. The missing, whose identities were later revealed, include Stockton Rush, the chief executive of OceanGate, Paul Henry, a 77-year-old Titanic expert, and father and son Shahzada and Suleiman, both British and Pakistani nationals, as well as British billionaire Haddon. Stockton came from a wealthy family with a rich background in aerospace engineering, and because his dream of being the first person to set foot on Mars was not realized, he turned to submersible research and founded OceanGate. Paul Henry is an experienced man who has participated in numerous salvage and expeditions of the wreck of the Titanic. Shahzada was a Titanic enthusiast, while Haddon was a keen adventurer with a record of adventures. The search and rescue operation has been swift but difficult. Initially relying on aircraft and ships to search the surface, OceanGate claimed that Titan was equipped with a backup escape system that could bring the submersible to the surface after a certain time, but the search team did not find any trace on the surface of the sea. On June 20th, Canadian aircraft using sonobuoys picked up a set of noises that some experts believe may be a distress call from Paul Henry, but others have dismissed this. At 1:20 p.m. on June 22nd, the Canadian remote-controlled submersible found a debris area matching the Titan about 500 meters from the bow of the Titanic, which was identified as its parts and judged from the shape of the debris imploded, and the OceanGate announced that 5 passengers were unfortunately dead. The U.S. Navy has also detected anomalies consistent with an implosion or explosion. The reasons for the implosion of Titan are mainly the following. First, the material selection problem. The difference in performance of carbon fiber and titanium under different pressures may damage the structural integrity of the submersible. Second, it may have suffered damage during previous exploration but was not discovered. Third, there are major design flaws, such as limited pressure on the front window glass. Fourth, there may be problems with the battery, and there have been battery failures and communication failures. OceanGate had already been aware of these potential problems and dangers, and the Ocean Technology Association had sent a letter warning of them. But the CEO not only failed to address the problem, but also made passengers sign waivers of liability. Because Titan operates in international waters, the lack of effective legal oversight allows it to continue operating. Following the tragedy, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and the National Transportation Safety Board announced an investigation. Even if a passenger signs a liability waiver, OceanGate will still be liable in the event of gross negligence or inadequate risk disclosure. The issue has also been widely discussed online, with some people calling it rich and willful to take risks, while others believe that pushing limits is worthy of respect. But in any case, nature should be respected. There are parallels to the Titanic tragedy in which the captain or person in charge was overconfident and ignored warnings. The captain of the Titanic ignored an iceberg warning and drove at full speed, causing collision, and the CEO of the Titan insisted on a manned expedition despite problems with the submersible. During the salvage of the wreck of the Titan, safety hazards such as tangled wires, broken landing gear, and missing window glass were found. The U.S. Coast Guard also found some human remains inside the submersible, a discovery that surprised many marine experts, and scientists' analysis of the remains could provide key clues to solving the mystery of the incident. The TitanImplosion tragedy has sounded the alarm for the deep-sea exploration industry, reminding people that while pursuing adventure and commercial interests, they must attach great importance to safety issues, strengthen supervision and risk assessment, and avoid similar tragedies in the future.